Okay, welcome back to Minnesota Built. Guys, we're getting a little bit bigger than we started. We're just a fart in the wind compared to anybody else, but you know, a couple of acolytes is like, we finally hit a video on TikTok that hit like 75, 80K views. That's kind of cool. You know, subscriber count, I don't know what we're at, maybe 200. I haven't really looked. YouTube hasn't really taken off. TikTok's doing pretty cool. We're always uploading on TikTok, Minnesota Built as well. And that's all thanks to you guys. You know, if this ever does blow up, that's really cool, and I look forward to that. I'm not saying it will, but, you know, I'd be definitely gracious if it does. Anyways, so today over on Minnesota Built, the last video you saw, which I'm actually going to be editing here shortly, we did pull out the B16 out of Ryan's EK coupe. Boys, some of that shit a mess. Anyways, today, well, even though I did a little bit ago, but here's the H2b. The weird part is Darren came over here and pointed something out to me that I was just oblivious to. He bought the manual one, the more expensive one, but you see what I see? That's an auto flywheel. So something's a little fishy there. But it's got the bigger throttle body. It's got the 62 mil throttle body. So unless a guy was to pull the cams out and mic them, you're not going to know. So I'm a little confused. It's weird. Anyway, I'm going to start this video off. This is going to be a new series this is going to be like a part 2 because we already pulled the B16 out, but part 2 of how to do a H2b EK swap. H2b, F2b, you know, same thing, but I know I'm going to call this an H2b even though it's an F20b. And the reason I say that is because this motor is more like an H22 than it is an F23 or an F22. We're going to start by breaking down the motor, getting all the stuff that, you know, like the harness and the shit that was left on it that we don't need. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab you guys. Ryan dropped off the H2b kit, and we're going to go over it and explain it a little bit. All right, so I just grabbed the kit, unboxed it, and it is a used kit he picked up, but this is still a complete kit, it looks like. We also got the Roscoe Racing adapter plate. I think KS Tune sells these ones, or from Roscoe Racing. You need that to adapt the 2-wire idle air control valve to the F20Bs because they normally come with a 3-wire. The only difference is like the difference between Dylan's F20B and this F20B is that some year they did a change to the manifold. So the IACV on Dylan's is actually in the front, and then this one's on the back. So I'm thinking that kit will still work here. I'm assuming it will, but we'll have to look at that because I haven't dealt with one of the IACVs, the adapters on the back of the manifold. I've only had to deal with it on the front. So I'm a little worried about it because of clearance in the engine bay, because they're very tight with the swap. The reason I told Ryan to get the plateless kit is, one, I've done this 8 times. H2Bs, F2Bs with the plateless kit. I love them. The plated kits are, you know, they're okay. They have their issues. Some people say, oh, the plateless kits are dangerous because of, like, they don't use dowel pins on the tranny to motor. That's not a problem. So the reason I like the plateless kit is because it's easier, and you use OEM flywheel bolts, where the plated kits, you have to buy either a really expensive tapered flywheel, or what most of them do is use a spacer and longer flywheel bolts. And I have seen dozens and dozens and dozens of people having their flywheel bolts snap off, and not dealing with that. So that's why I choose the plateless kit, because you use the OEM B-series flywheel, the flywheel bolts, and clutch kit, and you don't have this special bullshit. Anyway, so let's take a look at it. This to me looks like the 4 or 4.5 version kit. This is not the 5 or 5.5 version, the newest kit. Kind of sad. Bro Performance is no longer in business because the deal was he lived in California and he was getting too many tariffs on parts and stuff. Couldn't afford it. Killer guy, killer product. But this is still a good kit. It's not the newest version, but it works just fine. I've used this kit myself. So we got the post mount here. This post mount goes there. You got the intermediate shaft adapter right here. So this is what bolts to the back of the block, and then the half shaft from the B series bolts to this. You got see it on the version 5.5, this is actually a 2-piece bracket. And this is like Dylan's, the 1-piece version 4.5 or 4.9 or whatever it is. This actually sits up here like that, and it bolts the tranny to the motor. We got these bolts here. These go to the transmission. You got to tap 3 holes with, this is really cool. They included the tap in the kit, which he used to do that, so I'm glad that they didn't lose it. And then this is an extra bracket that goes on the bottom of the motor in the tranny, so it's an extra bracket. This one here is a bracket that goes in the front. You drill out a hole in the block in the tranny, and it sits like that. Another way to clamp it together. And then there's a couple more brackets. This and this go to the back of the block. You have to drill a hole through the starter hole in the T-bracket, and that's what bolts to your T-bracket. So, which we actually got to take that off and weld the nut because you want it to be stronger. So you just weld it so it's nicer. Anyway, so looks like he's got the complete kit here, which is good. So I'm gonna throw you guys on the time lapse. I'm gonna blast some music. We're gonna break down this engine. I'll probably throw you on the head cam just because, you know, hands-on visual, right? So episode 1.5, episode 2, however you want to call it, prepping F2b. So let's get to it.
All my life, by my side. All my life, all my, one time from side to side. Without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Peekaboo, I see you, peekaboo, I see you. Looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside.
Alrighty, welcome back. Let me clean you guys off. Okay, so let's give you a rundown of what I just did. So, this isn't in the right position because it's hitting the header, but you have to grind off this mount bolt, the housing, to clear the half shaft. And you also can't run the dust shield because it'll hit. And then, like I said, we had to grind back here, like you saw right here. We grind that spot. Literally, because it's so tight, you grind that spot to clear the axle boot clamp. Literally, that's what that little spot's for. Little nudge down there we had to do. On the crank, so you guys saw me grind that, is that little dowel. So B-series flywheels don't have a spot for that dowel to sit inside. So you have to grind it flush on the crank so that way the flywheel sits right. Otherwise it would be cocked. All sorts of issues if you don't grind it. Also, there's a little spot up here. We grinded that off because the flywheel teeth will hit that. So, what else? So we got the intermediate shaft bracket on. I also drilled out the hole in the front. Right there. The reason you drill that out is this right here. This will actually go through the tranny, and I'm not going to take it off, but this bolt sits through here and ends up being like that. And then this helps clamp the tranny to the engine, along with the bottom bracket too. So I'm not going to take this apart, but that's what that hole is drilled for. So we got pretty far tonight. Got the motor broke down. A lot of the grinding and cutting done. Let's see, we ain't got too much. I got to get the tranny off. I'm gonna send him the tranny to clean it because it is profusely fucking dirty and I'm not dealing with that. So with that being said, he's gonna get the tranny. I'll do that tomorrow night. What else? The Integra, I didn't get any parts, so it's kind of just sitting here. Nothing really going on with it. I'm just kind of waiting. So we're doing this for Ryan. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna end tonight. I'm not gonna end the video here. I'd like to get one more episode or more work done for one episode. Another thing too is, when I was talking about the intake manifold, this different plenum on top, the Roscoe Racing adapter plate that we use actually doesn't quite line up. So what I'm gonna have him do is I'm gonna get a hold of my buddy who has a lot of these and see if I can get an upper plenum of the old style that has the IACV right here that plate is meant for. I thought it would fit this too. It like will, but like you'd have to grind off some shit and it almost hits the TPS right here and stuff. So we're gonna try to see if we can swap out the upper plenum. That'll make it easier for him. Otherwise we'll have to see a different Roscoe plate. And he needs a fuel rail, or we're gonna do something here to make a custom fuel line for it to work. So with that being said, I think that's gonna wrap it up tonight. Let's see, I might bring you guys with. Tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up an RSX for cheap, 5-speed base model. I'm gonna rip it apart for parts, sell it. I don't need a K swap for anything, but it's got a lot of K goodies, you know. It's the harness everybody uses, the shifter box, the cables, the tranny. It's a K20A3, somebody could use the motor, the ECU, shit like that, wheels, tires, you know, bumpers, what the fuck ever, you know, it's a parts car, cheap as fuck. So that's gonna wrap it up for tonight for me. I'm gonna go home and play some new Call of Duty, you know. I'm also a video game nerd. I like gaming. Also a car guy. And then I'm a mechanic for my real job at a factory. So I kind of got a wide spectrum of like what I like to do. Let's see. The only thing in this kit I'm not noticing is a pilot bearing for the flywheel. The reason that that pilot bearing is important is because it has a tapered edge from factory, or from Bro, that he does. And it doesn't quite sit in there unless you taper it. So that's another issue we're gonna have to figure out. Some motors you could just slap a stock B series pilot bearing in and it's not a problem. Some, it squishes them. So we'll see when we get to that, if this is the type of crank that has enough clearance on its stock. Otherwise, you gotta grind this little hole a little bit more. But it already has a taper there, so it's close. But you kind of just put the grinder there and just twist back and forth and open up this hole a little bit so that the pilot bearing has more room. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. I'll try to bring you guys with on the road trip tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I might not, probably, because it's gonna be busy as fuck. All right, so the battery died there. Anyways, I'm on my way to go pick up a RSX for a dirt price. Runs and drives, super cheap. But I'm picking up her parts car, rip it all apart, and junk the shell. It's really rusty. I think it has high miles. I don't even know, but runs and drives. And I'm just gonna pick it up to rip it apart. So I'll bring you guys with, and we'll see how this goes, and I'll let you know when we get there. Rowan, say hi from MM Built.
Hi from MM Built.
That's my boy. Darren. Nobody can see anything. Let's get your face in there. Yeah, I can almost see your face. Good to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's go show them what we got. Just got home, started fucking snowstorming out.
This thing's bad, dude.
Running, driving RSX. It's got a twin loop in it. So,
I need this thing. Let me buy it.
you know what's really cool? This steering wheel will bolt right into the EK. Does it got heat?
I don't know.
Sure enough. I don't know anything about this car. I don't even know if it has oil in it. He says the water pump was leaking, so you gotta watch the temperature. But his son drove it for like a year. Anyways, you wanna go drive it?
Yeah, I'll drive it.
Just don't beat the shit out of it, but just
I'll beat the fuck out.
no, don't.
Why?
Because I don't want to blow it up. I don't even know if it has oil. I didn't even check the oil.
We'll check it quick.
But
check it out, run it.
hold on. Oh, there we go. So
This fucking got heat, dude.
we'll find out. Oh, that stinks. But I want you to see if the tranny's all good in it. You know what I mean? So anyways, guys, this is the RSX I picked up for 500 bucks. Runs and drives, but it's really rusty, so it's a parts car. Ripping it all apart. So we'll get back to you guys. I'm gonna end the video here. It's been a long day. Just got home. We had to drive on a 4-hour round trip. think it's pretty minty, actually. I like it. I wish I could keep it. But I'm ripping it all apart. Anyway, so the deal is I'm gonna got my trailer unhitched. I'm gonna do some other shit. I'll catch you guys when we finish up. They're fucking well, they're broke now. Here.
You recording?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm gonna take you in this.
okay, I got rudely interrupted by a dead battery. But RSX in the garage, runs, drives, does burnouts.
Super good price, like steal of a price.
Yeah.
Like not much more than the fucking piece of shit 4-door you got.
Yeah. So there's that. She's sitting in the garage, getting ready to get ripped apart. The old Taggy here. Now she's all put back together. Got the ball joints in. Needs a clutch fucking master because it's got no clutch in it.
And I had a brand new one, but Darren stole it for the fucking 4-door.
Yep.
So now I gotta put a used one in it.
Well, he told me to use it because
I told you to use it so you could buy it from me, and then I'll just go get a new one. But you're never gonna pay me, so now I don't.
well, you're never gonna pay me for that $30 or that $5
you
bet.
owe me like 100.
Or that $5 bet we made that one
You're
time.
gonna have to suck my balls.
Anyhow, yeah, so here's the tag.
That's your Christmas gift, is not paying me back.
Stupid. Oh. So yeah. There's that beast. Drove it in the garage.
Honestly, now that we got the axles in and the ball joints, all I gotta do is bleed the coolant and put the master in it.
Tranny fluid.
Tranny fluid and figure out some sort of intake because the ABS is right in the way. So I can't like put a cone on it, you know, like a tube.
Yeah.
So besides that though, it's like ready to go. Like it runs and drives.
And,
I gotta do the brake line.
And exhaust.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I'm waiting on my V-band to come in the mail.
Yep. So yeah. I mean, we pulled it out of the garage, pulled it in. We had to start it in gear and drive it out, but
yeah, the master.
and then you need to find a mirror because I'm pretty sure you only have one.
I hope it's the driver's side because legally you don't have to have the passenger mirror, but you have to have the driver's.
I feel like it's a passenger just because, huh?
Oh, you know what? Hey,
No, that's driver.
we gotta check something real quick.
What?
Oh, I don't think it's on there, but if it is, I'm gonna shit my pants.
What?
Ah, it is on there. This is an Integra door. I parted out from an Integra like fucking 6 years ago, and it's always been with that red Integra I picked up with the GSR, and I got it back, so now I got a mirror for the tank.
But the thing is,
I forgot I had that.
that's a driver mirror in there. I believe so. It's right there.
That one's a driver mirror?
I think so.
It don't matter. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just need at least one driver mirror, so.
Yeah, I don't think the other one's in there.
No.
Yeah, so that's kind of the update on everything. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen what was going on with these things.
Yeah, I already recorded a bunch doing the mods to the motor.
Yeah.
I did that last night, so.
Then you just got to pull the clutch, tranny, and
Modify the tranny. I'm gonna give it back to Ryan so we can go fucking clean it because I can't stand this grease shit.
yeah.
This whole motor, whatever worked on it as a crackhead.
Greasy, very greasy.
Yeah.
So.
This Integra, good deal. I'm real proud about it. Like it runs and drives and it's cheap as fuck.
It's not an Integra.
Oh, it's a fucking Integra in Japan, bitch.
But anyhow.
So.
But he's like, we drove it probably the one time we were going to drive it and it's going to get ripped apart.
Yeah, you drove it around the circle once. I drove it around the circle once.
I did burnouts coming in the garage and that was
it's
it.
low on oil.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You don't need oil in a Honda. But there's a lot of good parts on this. And on top of that, fucking nuts and bolts. We are going to strip all the nuts and bolts.
Yeah,
off.
because
We're getting
with
low.
all the stuff in here, you'd think we would have some. We got a lot of bolts, but we have like no nuts. We got no 12 bolts.
I'm getting more, but
no 10 bolts.
I got
No 14 bolts.
I got a
no
bunch of
14
them
nuts.
from that other project I did the other day.
Yeah.
That bucket right there. And yeah, so I need fucking nuts and bolts, mostly bolts. It's like you'd think we'd have a lot, but I'm actually running low on fucking bolt supplies.
Oh, and the seats in this thing. You're going in my Civic.
They only 3 bolts line up, and they sit kind of high in the Civics. But yeah, they go right. You can bolt them in.
Fucking.
They're definitely not
Recars, baby.
safe, but you know.
I mean, that one's decent.
If you really want to, you could swap the rails and put that one on the driver's side.
Maybe.
If you wanted to fuck around with it. The steering wheel's gonna I'm gonna try to put it in the Integra.
And if it don't go in the Integra, it's gonna go to my Civic.
Well, that's the thing is you gotta swap the steering column to do it. But these bolt right into an EK because they have the same spline count. But EGs and Integras have a different spline count.
So it sounds like it's going in my car.
It could go in there for a little bit, but you're not keeping it.
Why would it keep it?
Like if you sell the car or junk it, you gotta put.
I'm not gonna sell the car.
You gotta put something else.
I've had
I'm just saying.
a million offers on that thing and it's still here.
For being a piece of shit, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. It was $200. I ain't gonna get rid of it.
Oh, shit my pants. Nice.
Sounds like it's pussy.
Oh, there it is
But
again.
yeah, so closing out the video here.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this will be enough. So this is going to wrap up episode 1.5 or episode 2 of Ryan's H2b swap. Talked about modifying the motor. That's pretty much all the mods to the motor. Now we got to mod the tranny and tap the holes and then put the kit on. But I got to work now again, so I won't have time to work on it until probably Monday, which is in like 2 days. And then Monday night, if you're free, we're going to rip this whole fucking car apart. We'll put the seats in your EK. We can put the steering wheel in your EK.
It sounds awesome, but I probably won't be free.
I'm sure you will be.
I probably won't.
Why?
Well, because I'll have my kids. So.
Oh. Yeah, you can make him work. He's 3.
Yeah.
You're 2. Anyways, I'm going to rip this car fucking all apart Monday, get rid of the shell.
This is going in my car. These are going in my car.
And then get rid of it. Get the Integra done. I should have it done Monday. Like, there's no reason why. Yeah. Unless my V-band doesn't come in, because we got to make the up pipe for, like, where the turbo bolted on. I bought a V-band to put on it. So it's just going to be an extension of like what the turbo would be, and then you go out the hood.
It's going to be a hood exit like the Civic. So.
Yeah, so, and then when I decide to put the turbo kit back on, I'll just pull it off and put the turbo on.
Yeah.
But I want to run and drive it NA, daily it. So.
Yeah, at least for a little bit.
So if everything goes right Monday, this car will be gone and ripped apart. The Integra will be done, and I should have Ryan's H2b swap like all together and then ready to be put in. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that's about it.
We should really go over this car and still a lot of shit off of it.
I'm knocking like nuts and bolts and all sorts of shit. Like, there's a lot of good parts. I'm gonna post it up tonight and see if anybody wants like parts off of it. Yeah, like because the door cards are nice and
the dash is nice.
Cluster, I don't know.
Even the center consoles. I mean, it's dirty, but it's nice.
Yeah. So
no cracks in it. It's not bad. Well, if. To the 3 people that are watching this, if you need parts for your
RSX,
0203,
you got the ECU.
We got you.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. We love y'all guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to edit this video tonight, and I'll put it up, even though I just put one up like an hour ago. But all right, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Peace.